Now remember, don't spill. This is a loaner.
You got it.
This Mazda CX-9, courtesy of the Autobarn Mazda of Evanston. Look, it's Friday Pilots Club.
Hello.
And yes, this podcast is brought to you by the Autobarn Mazda of Evanston. This car, this CX-9, this is a 2017 CX-9. It's gorgeous, right?
It
Spacious.
is. Very, very nice.
I haven't been in the back seat yet. How's the back seat, Drew?
Very roomy and comfortable enough to eat a large burger back here. Yeah, we could actually probably fit the entire band live. Like we could play in here.
Yeah, I didn't even realize that there was three of us
there.
Oh yeah, I mean you could have an opening band in here, and you guys. You could have the entire lineup. It could be like one of those old TV talk shows. You have the opening guest, and they slide over on the couch. Another band comes in. We could just get everyone in here.
I think your next move now is to do your podcast, but while the first band is playing in the car, the next band is cooking that band dinner, and then they trade off, and it's kind of like an Iron Chef situation.
Well, we could totally put like a grill.
in the back.
Do you see all that trunk space?
Definitely.
Yeah, I mean it's spacious.
Nothing but room. Again, this is all from the Autobarn Mazda of Evanston. They are at 1015 Chicago Avenue. I got my last 2 cars from there. I'll get my next 2 cars from there too. I would not do myself wrong by getting this car. In fact, this is lovely. All right, so anyways, Friday Pilots Club. Are you ready?
Ready.
It's car con carne. Let's eat in the car. It's car con carne. And now here's the star of our show, James Van Alstyne.
All right, so we are at Red Hot Ranch on Ashland. You were just waiting for me to give you the go. Like, I mean, you didn't
so
waste
hungry.
a second diving into that burger.
Unbelievable.
I feel bad that I started then.
No, don't feel bad. You musicians, you need your protein. So we're at Red Hot Ranch with Friday Pilots Club. Caleb and Drew are here. Now, most recently, if you've been keeping track, Friday Pilots Club just made it to the top of a nationwide competition. You guys won the Next to Rock competition, which means you scored a big-time record deal.
We did.
Well, I guess let's backtrack. Next to Rock, there were local finals. I saw you at Cubby Bear. Mm-hmm. I hosted that night.
On September 30th.
It was end of August.
End of August,
Yeah.
that's right. Okay.
I want to apologize. I hadn't seen you live before that night. And every band that played that night, I can say something good about. There was something to recommend each of those bands. You guys came on stage, and it was one of those things, there was like a collective gasp in the audience, like, oh, shit. Your live show is something to behold. I mean, you are arena ready. And it was quite clear when you left the Cubby Bear that night, when you emerged the local champs, we knew you were going to end up in Los Angeles, and it was probably a foregone conclusion. You'd be right here, right now, with a record deal with Big Machine?
Big Machine Label Group.
Who else is on Big Machine? This is a big-time label.
Bad Flower is. Taylor Swift originally was. And
Cheap Trick, Reba McEntire, Florida Georgia Line.
Yeah.
You know,
Pretty crazy.
I think that's all I know.
we were talking as we were waiting for food. There aren't a whole lot of Chicago bands breaking at a national level anymore. It kind of comes and goes in waves, and I've seen all the waves. I feel like you guys are at the front of a new wave. Truly.
I feel honored by it. Absolutely. I mean, we're still reeling in it a little bit. So
Is it still kind of surreal what happened?
definitely surreal.
So let's talk about that night. You went to Los Angeles. Was it Viper Room or?
It was at the Roxy.
Right down the
Roxy.
street, yeah, the Roxy.
Okay. So it's at the Roxy. You're competing against 4 other bands that made it to the top, all on their own merit, all solid bands. What number did you play that night? What in the order?
We were the last band to play, just like in Chicago.
That it was almost like a sign.
It was. It felt that way.
Was it worse to be last? Were there more nerves as you were watching everybody else thinking, oh, they're good and they've got this going on? Did it get in your head at all?
Definitely. I mean, a lot of the bands, there were some established bands there, definitely. And as Drew and I have been doing this together for 2 years now, and we've only had End of It out for actually less than a year still, and so it was a little intimidating to be around guys that have had music out for a while. And they were just really good. A lot of them were incredibly good. Our friends in the Zealots were just unbelievable. They put on such a good live show.
Did you approach it differently? Or did you just say, we're going to do what we do?
We're going to do what we do. Right?
Yeah, I mean, we have never flown anywhere to do a show. So I think on my end, I was very stressed the entire trip because I'm normally like coordinating the live show with like making sure, you know, because I like run the backing tracks off my phone and everything, and I was just like freaking out, like, we're gonna have to check guitars at the gate, we're gonna have to like check our bass, they're gonna get damaged in the flight, we're gonna come back, we're not gonna have any instruments, like I'm gonna have to play the set on ukulele. I thought it was gonna like be totally ruined, but everything went swimmingly. It was like perfect. And then we're there in the venue watching all the other bands, and I feel like seeing them all up into that moment was like, okay, here we go.
And we had to do the mama and papa thing on the way out there. You know, just making sure that everything got done right. And Zach, our manager, or one of our two managers with Roger, did an amazing job making sure that everything was ready to go. And Cumulus and BMLG really took care of us all the way through, which was really nice.
See, now that you guys made it, maybe you can get a second phone for the backing tracks.
That would be nice.
You can keep your personal phone in your pocket. Just have your live phone.
There you go.
Honestly,
for the performances.
that's a great idea.
Right?
Like, it sounds so bougie too. Like, oh, this is my travel phone.
Yeah, this is my travel
It's no
phone.
different than having like a laptop on stage, right? You just have it on a phone.
Right. And I would have my laptop normally,
That's still a sore subject.
but yeah, we played Fulton Market Fest earlier in September, and for some reason that night I set my laptop on top of the bass amp, and our bass player was just totally ripping. The whole band was ripping. We were just the loudest probably we've ever been, and the whole laptop just vibrated off to the
man.
amp.
Oh, yeah.
But it was perfect because it kept playing the tracks, but the screen is completely like,
Hey, if it had to go, it went triumphantly.
yeah.
It
Oh, it was
did.
in a blaze
It
of
did.
glory.
Right, it died an honorable Viking death.
Oh yeah, in like the world of like rock, and it was very cool.
Should we just pause and bring up the fact that these burgers are kind of awesome?
They are. They really
Yeah.
are.
Shout out Red Hot Ranch.
Holy crap. Cash only, by the way. I had a feeling. I hit the ATM before we got here. I'm like, there's no way they're taking credit cards. There's just no way.
Good call.
I got the single. You guys both went with doubles. I probably should have gone with the double. This feels a little modest.
It is. This is an appropriate amount of meat. I like it. I'm eating it in a very, like, I don't know what kind of way this would be. 96th Street Steak Burgers. Have you ever been there before? They serve it to you in this little wrap. Trying to be as clean as I can in this Mazda.
Thank you. The Mazda CX-9, courtesy of the Autobarn Mazda of Evanston. Thank you very much. Let's talk about the judges for this performance, because the intimidation of just playing for the stakes you were playing at are one thing, but you're there playing in front of Chris Jericho.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, yeah.
I mean, WWE superstar, in my opinion, one of the greatest all-time wrestling heels. You're playing in front of Jonathan Davis of Korn, and I forgot to mention Fozzy, of course, for Jericho. Was there an intimidation factor there?
Extremely.
Because did they comment after your set?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And I had this like weird out of body experience as we're like getting on stage and setting up during our changeover, and I'm looking over at the judges table and I see Jonathan Davis, and I realized that about 10 years ago I had gone to see Korn, and I was watching his band, and here I am, and he's watching my band, and it was like terrifying. Like, it was truly a shocking moment. Like, I'm not like a big Korn fan, but it was also just that like weird, like, whoa, full circle kind of thing.
So did anyone give you feedback that you took to heart? Because they didn't stream it, and I remember last year they streamed it, and I was watching it. The judges had a little something to say to everybody, and some of the nuggets there I thought were really good or sage in the advice they gave.
Yeah. Watching them judge other bands was really harsh. We were like, oh, these guys are about to tear us apart. But they were just very celebratory. And that felt good. Definitely felt good. Yeah, they only had good things to say, didn't they?
Yeah. Which was, honestly, it was weird. Because they tore the other bands apart. You know, which in a way was scary, but also was like, well, we're about to get critique from some like industry heavyweights. Like, this could be really good for us, you know, to hear what they have to say. But they just had a lot of praise for us, which was very cool. But
So, all right, so you won the competition. Of course, we had the parade down Columbus Drive when you returned.
right, naturally.
People were throwing flowers at you, and it was a remarkable homecoming for you, long overdue. So what's next? I mean, now that you won this, do they put you in a studio? Do they pair you with a producer?
Well, that's what we're trying to figure out is, what we do next. We've got so much material that we've been working on, just a extensive list of songs to
Like since the competition?
yeah, since the competition we've been writing and doing what we always do. And even before the competition, we have a lot of material, probably enough for 2 or 3 albums to like put out, and we're just deciding what we need to do, and as we write, how we want to write. So
Well, I know labels like to move fast.
Oh yeah.
Do they give you a timeline? Like, we want to get you in a studio by X date so that we can have product out or a single out by this date?
We don't know yet. But what we did do is we just today actually sent over all of the unreleased songs with the proper song credits and everything for the label's lawyer to forward on to the label, and they will listen to all the songs and then get back to us and let us know what they want to release, and if they want the song to be released, if there's changes that they want or whatever. So
They're all hits.
I hope. I hope
Let's
so.
talk about some of the stuff you have released. And we were talking about this as we were waiting for food. It's kind of weird to talk about music in a medium where you can't really play the music. So I'm going to talk kind of in broad strokes about some of the songs you put out, but I hope it at least inspires someone either watching on Facebook Live or listening to go seek out your music. You're streamable everywhere. I was listening on Google Play Music on my way here. Let's start with Golden Bones.
okay.
This song to me, this is like total vocal calisthenics, because you go from like a growl to falsetto to like a big arena vocal style.
Yeah. Oh man, thank you for noticing that, first of all. I like to say that sometimes live when we've been playing for a while and I'm getting nervous about doing all that stuff. I think that working with Drew was the first time that I ever worked with someone that pushed me to try and push my voice, and we found different areas that not only I had never been to, but that not a whole lot of other people do well. Like going from chest voice and like on that verse, it's very low. Tonight, wearing golden bones, and then going to the chorus, which is, I'm just kidding, I'm not going to do that in here. But I remember we got done. We recorded the song with John Fields in Minneapolis, and it was the first time I ever like stepped out of the studio and was really like, yeah, damn right, I did that. Like, hell yeah, because I was watching Drew and John in the control room, and they were just so psyched, and I was like, damn, like that felt really good. I did that. I remember Drew coaching me through how to push my voice like in a healthy way in his dorm room when we were writing some of these songs, and just really engaging that and engaging my core to sing that. And so it feels good. I love that song so much.
Let's take a step back. When you were working on stuff in a dorm room,
Yeah.
could you have imagined, or did you kind of, it seems like you had a sense of self and where you were going. Did you foresee something like this happening?
It might sound cocky, but yes, I did.
That's why I corrected myself. I had a feeling.
This has never been a question of should I be doing this. This is always a question of like, I don't even know, like, there's just no end. It's just like, you have to keep getting better. That's the only way to keep enjoying something. And I was like, I'm ready to make some more extreme music. I'm ready to push my voice harder. And Drew was the one who helped me do that. And, in writing good music, it feels good to sing good lyrics well. And that's been what's passed us on to the next point that we're on, to, the upper echelons. And, yeah, I guess, that's...
Well, Drew, how do you push him? Do you agree with that? Did you push him to be a better man?
I think so, in some ways. I just think that I approach music and songwriting in general from a producer's perspective rather than a guitarist perspective.
Definitely.
Which is like, it's a really strange thing, because kind of going back to your question about did you ever think this would happen, like, or did you ever see yourself here? Honestly, I didn't, because I used to play in bands in high school, and then I came to Columbia thinking I was going to be an audio guy, and I was going to be a hermit that sat behind a desk, and I just did that. But a year after meeting Caleb and working with him on his solo stuff, I ended up filling in for a Friday Pilots Club show on bass. And then he was like, oh, you should join the band and play guitar, because their guitarist was leaving. So I was like, okay, well, I guess I'll start playing guitar. But like, here we are, and this is like this feels like the big thing. But now being in this band and working with Caleb and understanding our songwriting, I feel like I've like seen so much of like what Caleb is capable of, and it's so awesome because I feel like the way we think is so like opposite, but it works so well together. Mm-hmm. You know, in the sense that we're both approaching songs from entirely different perspectives.
You don't butt heads?
I mean, we do, like without a doubt, you know. And I think Problem was this like probably the hardest song for us to write.
Well, let's talk about Problem.
Sure.
Nice, funky sounding song, big choruses. Tell me how you approach this from different ends.
Oh boy.
So the song originally started as like this really terrible sounding demo that kind of sounded like a half-assed Charlie Puth song.
Yeah,
definitely. And I was like singing this like super dainty melody, and I sent it to Caleb, and I was like totally doing that thing where you preface your work before you show it to a friend. You're like, you know, it's really rough, don't think about it too much, like, you know, I'm still trying, this could be better, blah blah blah. And I was like really hoping he would like it, but I was terrified that he wouldn't. And after I feel like I kind of opened his eyes to the song, Caleb brought this new character, because everyone is performative when they're singing. There's a reflection of some character that you're portraying for that song, and
beautifully put.
Wait, what's that?
I'm sorry to interrupt. I said beautifully put. Yeah.
Oh, well, thank you. This character that Caleb plays is what the song needed. It needed that swanky swagger vocal of the, like, I don't know, there's something about that.
That's the word. When I see you on stage, you've got swagger.
Oh, good.
That is the most rock and roll thing I think about the band, is that swagger, that just charisma.
I watched Julian Casablancas growing up, and
there it is.
And that man just doesn't give a crap about what other people think. And there's this really good quote from this book that I read called "Meet Me in the Bathroom," and it's
it's the New York scene.
Yeah, it's the New York scene, and I think it's James Murphy says it, where he's like the pinnacle of becoming a performer. He's talking about Karen O from the Yeah Yeah Yeahs, and he's like, is when you stop being yourself, and you, not in a way that you're pretending to be someone else, but you just lose it. You're there, and that is what I've begun to tap into, and I love that. You know, it feels good.
I should mention Car Con Carne is presented by the Autobarn Mazda of Evanston. We are in a Mazda CX-9, a gorgeous 2017 ivory white CX-9. The communications here. All right, here's the thing that blows me away. I don't know. I'm still talking about this. You may think this is cliche. Directly ahead of me, I can see my speedometer, like through the windshield.
Yeah.
So I know if I'm speeding. I don't need to look down. It's right in front of me.
That
it's
is projected. Really nice.
Wait, what?
I also have
right? Oh my God.
I think you need to be like right behind me to see it. It's like right through there. You can see 0 mph.
What? That is crazy.
That is crazy. That's just the kind of technology we're talking about here. It's amazing.
Next level.
That's it. We are in a next level vehicle. Thank you to the Autobarn Mazda of Evanston. Would you mind another song?
All true. Yeah.
That's your makeout song, right?
I don't know if it's a makeout. I mean,
if you don't listen to the lyrics.
It's like the make out with yourself because you're sad song.
Yeah, that song is like, I would consider emotionally punishing. Like, it is so
Soul's
sad.
Mean mistress.
But once again, this is another one of those songs that like Caleb's character is what sells that track. Mm-hmm. And I have this very distinct memory of being in the studio with John Fields, and we're tracking the outro bit of the song, and we're like, Caleb, just go for it. Just sing something. You know? Like, but this is like the penultimate moment of like, you're telling your ex, like, I'm so done with you, and like, I'm vengeful, and I know it makes me a shitty person, but I don't even care.
Yep.
And Caleb sings the like that thing, and my jaw was just like on the floor, like staring at him and like tearing up because it was powerful. That was just such a powerful moment, and like just the way Caleb was so clear and like deliberate with his connection to the song and the meaning and how it was communicated into the vocal delivery. It was just, I don't know, it was awesome. I still get goosebumps from that.
Do you ever remember this? I've brought it up before, but I remember when Drew wrote this song. He wrote Would You Mind about an experience that he went through. It's a very, very honest song. And when we were tightening things on it, we were going back in and looking at certain words and being like, does this fit, does this not? We got to the point with the chorus where it's, if I spend the night in the gaze of strange eyes, would you mind? And it's, I remember it being a very emotional moment. I've said that we cried before, and I don't know how true that is, but it was definitely a very emotional moment where it's like, fuck, yeah, we got that. Like we nailed the emotion of that moment. And people typically look down on just, especially guys our age, just writing relationship songs, but I think that when you can really dive into the psychology of something and explain the context of that certain jealousy, like that song does so well, which Drew nailed in the lyrics.
Thank you.
You really get instantly good.
See, this is good. You're both so supportive of one another. Now would be the time to stab each other in the back for other bands. Like now that you're now you got the
it's all me.
Well, okay, so going from that song, would Bad as Hell be the opposite of that?
Ooh, I like talking about this song.
Yeah, this is a fun one.
Bad as Hell was just, it was an idea that I had, that I predominantly wrote. And it's like a sex song, you know. I remember when this band was splitting apart from the original members, and they were going on to do what they wanted to do in their own lives. And I just felt like I was coming under such heat from people that I had known for a while that didn't want to see me anymore. They thought of me as this evil being. And just, I'm going to get really deep in this Mazda for a second. Thank you,
The Mazda CX-9.
The Mazda CX-9. Well, and you have, like, at the end of the day, I was experiencing for the first time this, like, the emotional power of sex for the ego, and I was just like, this is really good because it's this, this is, right now it just happens to be, this is the one thing that I'm very intimate with this very powerful, strong woman, and she is really the thing that's guiding me right now. None of this was going on in a huge way. We were still in the middle of doing a bunch of recording, and I was like, I want to write a song about this, and it was one song that just came out in like one night. I had this riff that I sent Drew in the background, and the original demo of the song just kind of drags, and then Drew's like, what if we did this? And then, we put the guitars in drop C, which is the first time that we did that, to kind of incorporate some of the darker influences. I do like the darkness that finds its way into your music. It is definitely, I think it's something that a lot of people try and run from when they're trying to make accessible music, or if they feel passionate about accessible music. They run from that darkness, but there's something that you have to incorporate if you find influence in that sort of stuff, and I think that Drew does a really good job with production of doing that, and we got that in that song. I mean, that's a self-produced song, so
yeah, we recorded that in my one bedroom.
It sounds amazing.
Good.
Thank you.
It really, I mean, all this stuff sounds ready to go, like astonishingly accomplished, given the fact that up until very recently, independent Chicago band.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys are ready. And to that end, let's talk a little bit more about the live show.
Oh, boy.
You guys have it. I mean, again, going back to swagger and that rock and roll persona and losing yourself in the art, you guys clearly have it together on stage. How long would you say you've had it together on stage? Because everything's humming along. I mean, it's all. I'm going to throw some metaphors out here. It's firing in all cylinders. It's the total package.
It's we've spent a lot of time, and Roger has been a big help with us.
Your manager, Roger.
Yeah, and our other managers.
All around good guy.
Oh yeah, totally. And our other manager, Zach, of just when we get off stage, even when we have great shows, being like, "Good job, guys," and then on the ride home or the next day or whatever, calling and being like, "Hey, Caleb, you really need to stop like scratching your crotch on stage. That's not a good idea." And then me, that was an actual conversation.
It gets itchy. Bright lights, it's sweaty.
I think it was just being nervous. Sometimes I would do that. I don't know why, but
how about like a powder, like a talcum?
I don't think it's a powder problem. Like, it's not like I'm just like, I have chronic jock itch, but it was just like a nerve thing. I was just doing, and things like that, and taking it out of like the behavioral side of things, we had to get that down, and we have gotten that into a really good spot where like we both know what we do well. And the guys that we play with, Sean, Eric, and Jimmy, know what they do well, and we're finding that on the stage more and more, and it feels really, really good. I rub my crotch all the time. Don't feel that. Thank you, Patrick.
Yeah, Patrick just said I rub my crotch all the time.
It would have been great if that was alone. Just, I rub my crotch all the time. I'd be like, okay.
Something else I want to add to this.
Well, something for the liner notes, perhaps.
Little asterisk by it.
Something I want to say as well. I feel like a big thing with the live show has also been us learning that we might be better than we think we are. Like, I think there's a lot of times we've been like, well, like, that's infeasible. Like, when we first wanted to start playing the tracks, we thought, we can't do that. We're not ready to do that. Like, we're just not that band. Like, we're not that tight, whatever. And then we start doing it, and it's like, whoa, this is really cool. This works. We can do this.
Yeah.
And in fact, we can do this better by then figuring out that we can take stuff that we were putting in the tracks out because we're actually able to do more live.
Yeah.
And then it's the interludes. And then just recently we spent an ungodly amount of money on lights and fog machines. So within the next couple months, you will start seeing a full programmed light and fog show.
That's what I was going to say. Friday Pilots Club, really accomplished on stage, needs more fog.
Yeah.
Well, you came to the right place. Yeah. Because I have $400 worth of it.
Yes, you do.
Every show. I'm just drinking haze juice before and after the show.
Sweating.
I'm just like... That's what gives me my energy on stage.
It was funny, though, because the last show we had, right when we got back from LA, we played a show here at HVAC Pub in Wrigley. And when we got on, I remember thinking to myself, I was like, okay, we might have overdid the fog. Like, there's a lot of fog on stage right now.
There's never too much.
But the pictures that we got from that are awesome.
Did it look like a goth show?
It looks super cool. It looks like we were playing a show in hell.
Yeah.
Which
is my dream.
Which is my dream as well.
That's my dream venue. It's the River Hades.
Awesome. All right, so Friday Pilots Club, I think you're so good. And the stuff that you self-recorded, if that's just what you did by yourself, I can't wait to hear what happens with Big Machine and the big muscle of a big label behind you.
Me too.
It's onward and upward for you guys. Congratulations on the win.
Thank you.
Like I said, we knew when you walked out of Cubby Bear, well, that's the band. Here we go. So thank you for eating hamburgers with me.
Thank you.
Of course, thank you for having us.
And you'll stay in touch, right?
Oh,
of course.
Absolutely. Are you kidding me?
See, this is the point where I have to ask. If you won't get so big that you'll forget all of us here in Chicago, right?
I don't think that's how our egos work.
No.
I would, yeah. If that day ever comes, and I'm like, I'm sorry, I only talked to my manager.
Like, we're having burgers now. You won't get to a point
window.
where you say, I'm sorry, I won't cross the street for anything less than a steak.
Well, no. I would take a burger over a steak any day.
Because you're a Chicagoan.
Absolutely.
That's it right
Truly.
there. All right, Friday Pilots Club, thank you so much.
Thank you.
This is Car Con Carne. If you like the podcast or like local music or local stuff or Mazdas, please support at carconcarne.com, Car Con Carne across the socials. This podcast lovingly presented by the Autobarn Mazda of Evanston. Love these guys.